Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be touring the U.S. Rough Rider Army. Let me get this binder clip out of the way. We're going to be touring this army today. So without further ado, let us do the tour. So here we have the U.S. Rough Rider Army. And this is the United States during the early 20th century. I would say 1899 to early 1900 to 1907 or 6. And these, the Rough Riders were basically consist of different types of men. There's were veterans from Civil War or the westward expansion. There was also cowboys, cavalrymen, criminals, all wanted to fight for the United States during the Spanish-American War, and the United States really didn't want to participate in the Cuban Revolution until the sinking of the USS Maine, and they would take the excuse of the sinking of the Maine, blaming it on Spain, and would go to war, declare war on Spain, and would also support the Cuban rebels. Which the propaganda slogan that they made was, "Remember the Maine, to hell with Spain." But in reality, what caused the USS Maine to sink was because there was a explosion on the deck, and it was probably an engine or so failure, because this was during the time of steamboats and industrialization. So I would say it would be around those time periods. But the leader of this army would be no other than President Teddy Roosevelt, which Roosevelt wanted to volunteer and serve in the army for his country, and was basically one of the main presidents that served in war. Another few you probably remember were George Washington, James Madison, Andrew Jackson, Ulysses Simpson Grant. They all, George W. Bush, and Ronald Reagan. They all fought, but they also have led them in battle, which makes them somewhat more cooler than most presidents. Now, I'm just going to do a little panorama for you guys here, show you all the details. We have a few men in the crowing position. Now, this guy, he's basically in charge of holding a machine gun ammo can, and another guy is in charge of shooting the machine gun, which the machine gun that they had was the
1890 rounding in 1895.
That was my brother who was just telling me about the machine gun type, because he remembers all the models I don't. But also, as you can see among here, we had two painted soldiers that came from a recent video. These guys would fit around these time period, because this is exactly what they would have. Now, also the United States Army during this time period retired using Springfield rifles and muskets, but instead adopted the Krag rifle, which was a Danish weapon issued. It was a Danish trapdoor bolt action rifle, because it was trapdoor loading.
Called the Krag Roberts.
Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, that's me and my brother talking about the weapon, but he knows a little bit more. But all I know is that it was called the Krag rifle. This was the first bolt action rifle that we actually kind of borrowed. We didn't really create it. We were borrowing it from a Norwegian or Swedish and gun maker / inventor. And that's pretty much it. Now, this is the tour of the United States Army, of the Rough Riders. So, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for announcement. Okay guys, so announcements are: one, I am going to be doing more historical army tours, but also continuing the series of TNA Civil War breakdown. I have no idea when I'm going to be doing that, but whenever I get the chance to, I will probably post an update about it or something like that. But thank you guys for watching and participating in the U.S. Rough Rider Army. I know that it was kind of hard for you guys. Some of you guys would probably see the soldiers because the camera was a little bit blurry. It was trying to get an angle, and I also was trying to tell you some information, but I kind of forgot. Then I had my brother Matthew remind me. And if you think really, if he's a big help on like doing more details, because he's more of a historical encyclopedia than me. I used to be a historical encyclopedia, but not all the way to the extent where I remember every single detail. But he is. If you think that he should participate in on this, then that's fine. But other than that, I just like displaying the soldiers and giving you guys like a brief overview of what they look like and stuff. But without further ado, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and more videos will come out soon.